odds are if you clicked on this video, you are purposely looking for a sign to lock in. And this probably isn't the first video that you've watched like this. You've probably watched many other people give you a motivational speech and they tell you all about their fascinating lives and it gives you a bit of motivation, but in reality, it's just giving you enough dopamine to watch someone else live your dream life. It makes your brain feel like this is enough. You get your dopamine hit, you see someone else live your life, and for the day, your brain thinks, all right, this is enough, we'll try again tomorrow. And this is the problem with everybody is they're waiting for a moment. They're waiting for a perfect moment that will never exist. It doesn't exist. I'm not gonna go too deep into what I have achieved and all this because I don't wanna give your brain this crazy hit of dopamine about me living some dream life, but I will tell you that I live an amazing life. I do, all right? And this wasn't achieved because a year ago, a perfect moment happened and it just felt like this was the right time. No. What happened was for a whole year, for 2 years, I mean, if you even think about it, my whole life, I always wanted to live a nice life. I wanted a nice car. I wanted a nice house. I wanted to provide for my family. And just about a year and a half ago is when I first started. And I didn't start because there was this perfect moment where everything lined up and it was like, all right, this is it. If I do it now, I'm gonna succeed. In fact, a year and a half ago, I was in arguably like the worst place in my life. I was going through certain things I'm not gonna get into. I was working a job. I didn't hate the job, but I knew it wasn't for me. I clocked in on someone else's schedule and I knew that that wasn't what I wanted to do. I want to travel the world. I want to hang out with friends. I want to take spontaneous side quests with all my friends and just live a great fucking life on my own schedule. Once again, nothing lined up. The only thing that I did to get to where I am now was just take that first step. And that first step doesn't need to be starting a successful business. You don't need to be successful in day one. You don't need to be successful, in fact, on day 365. And I mean, nothing ever lined up for me. A year and a half ago when I first started, I wasn't in some perfect timeline and everything lined up and I just started because everything was perfect. I started just by taking that first step, which was for me taking a financial risk. I'd never taken a financial risk in my life. I decided to purchase a mentorship to learn a skill that could help me make money from my phone. Money that I spent money that I pretty much didn't even have. I was left with $60 in my bank account. All the money I had made saving up through my part-time jobs, I spent on a mentorship, not even knowing if this was gonna work out. It was so uncomfortable and so far from perfect, right? And everyone thinks you need this perfect moment to start, and you don't. Your first step can simply be going to buy a journal and just writing out your thoughts on a piece of paper. I think one of the biggest problems that holds people back is that all of their thoughts are just kept in their head. All of the thoughts and their goals and their ideas are just sitting in their head, like waiting to pop like a bubble. And you need to bring them out into the physical world. You need to bring your ideas and your goals into the physical world. And I don't mean telling your friends, because usually people who always tell, the ones who never do. I mean writing them down. I mean making a vision board. I mean just putting them somewhere where every day you can look at what it is you want to do. Because you're letting it just crowd your mind and your mind is playing games with you, and for some reason you think it's okay just to let them sit in your mind forever. It's not. You need to bring them out into the real world. The moment I first started this, I bought a journal the first day. The first day I literally started learning how to make money online, I bought a journal and I started writing and I made a vision board and I made it clear about what I wanted. And that was the first step. That opened everything for me. That literally opened every single opportunity and door now, was just taking that first step. It took me 9 months to have my first big month, right? This isn't instant. And if you're looking for an instant way to get rich, exit off this video and go work a part-time job, and you can work 8 hours there and you're gonna know you can make money, right? But you have to be willing to sacrifice comfortability for a never-ending ceiling. If you want something instant, this isn't made for you. That's it. Make that decision now. Are you willing to risk 9 months, a year, 2 years of your life so that you can live this life that you want to live? Or are you going to continue to feed your brain this success porn, what I call it, and it's so fucking real. If you disagree with me, I'd like to know why. Success porn is very, very real these days, and I think it's the #1 killer of why so many people are never going to make it. I talked about it in the very beginning. You're scrolling constantly. You're watching YouTube videos. You're watching people like Brez and TGR, who I used to watch before I even started. This is why I know about this, is you're watching these people who are doing what you want to do. They're living the life you want to live, and it makes you happy watching it, and it spikes your dopamine because you're seeing someone else live your dream life, but you get that spike of dopamine and your brain thinks it's enough. And every single day you do this. Every single day is another wasted day. And then you say, okay, I'm gonna start tomorrow. And then you don't start tomorrow. And then you've wasted another day. Because in reality, the best time to start was yesterday. It was last week, it was last month, it was last year, it was 2 years ago when you said you were going to start. Think about how much you could have done in those 2 years of that year. It took me 9 months to buy this car. From literally making $1,000 a month, 9 months later I bought this car. That's all, 9 months. And if you think 9 months is a long time, once again, you're probably not made for this because it can take a long time. But that's really what can happen in the span of 9 months. To think about that, that's literally less than 1% of your life. If we're talking 100 years, it took me less than 1 year. Less than 1% of my life was spent grinding to get to the point where I am now, making multi-5 figures a month, driving one of my dream cars, traveling the world with my friends. I've met an amazing group of people, all because I just took that first step. Now, of course, I could say, oh, I wish I started 3 years ago, and I wish I did. I would love to know where I'd be now if I was doing it for 3 years, but I've been doing it for 1.5 years now, and look where I already am. This needs to be your last sign. This needs to be the moment where you actually decide, are you going to do it or not? Like, genuinely, look at yourself in the mirror right now. Look at yourself somehow and admit to yourself that you have been scrolling and watching other people for so long. You either are going to take a step right now or tomorrow, or you're not. You're going to continue this cycle where you watch other people do it, and then you're never going to do it, or you're actually going to go and do something. Take a risk, for fuck's sakes. Take a risk, because I know you're scared. Start the business, talk to the girl. Just get over your fear of taking a risk in general, and you'll be absolutely amazed at what you can do. Yeah, all of this started because I just took the risk. I took the first step, knowing that nothing was guaranteed, knowing that this could have all not worked out. And if it didn't work out, I would have moved on to something else. Because I am not going to let those visions haunt me. I'm not going to let my dreams haunt me. All the things that I saw as a kid, the nice cars, I wasn't going to let that just be a vision and something I used to see. I want it to be something I live. And I hope you do too. I hope you won't let the visions haunt you. I hope that you won't let your friends be right. I hope that you won't let your parents be right. I hope you don't go to college and get a degree that you don't want because someone else told you to get it. I genuinely do hope that you lock in, that you take the first step, and you just go from there. It's like a self-building staircase. The moment you take the first step, the second step appears, and so on. It's never going to be, you're going to see this one stair right here, and you're going to see the end right there. There is no end. You're always going to be chasing. You're always going to be taking new steps. You're always going to be taking new risks. But I can tell you right now, it is so worth it. It is so worth it. I could have given up in those 9 months. I could have said this wasn't for me and went back to my job and went back to college and got my degree and got my job, but I didn't. Because I knew, I was fully convinced that this is what I was going to do, and I made it happen. And you can too. I am no different than you at all. I'm a 21-year-old kid who dropped out of college. I was a class clown, people would say. I didn't get good grades, but I knew that the normal life wasn't for me. And all it took was just taking that first step. For me, it was that financial risk. You can decide what that first step is for you. Take this as your sign. Lock in. This can be your year. Think about that. We have 9 months left. It took me 9 months to get to where I am. This could be you by 2027. Think about how worth it that would be. Lock in.